Ready. Play.
And so the challenger to serve, Gabriela Sabatini. Just out.
15 love.
Very strong backhand return and very deep, just inside the baseline.
$40 love. Game is Sabatini. First game.
Well, what a great start for Gabriela Sabatini.
Yes, Dan, she certainly contained the Graf forehand very, very well. She directed everything at Steffi's backhand. And it is great for her to win her service game so comfortably. It's very tense, isn't it, Dan, out here? The crowd were deathly silent in that first game. Very, very interested and intrigued into what's happening. And so too are these gentlemen behind their lenses on top of the cover for the court, which we hope we don't need. Such a barrage of photographers. But as everyone said, it's such a lovely afternoon for tennis. It's warm, right temperature, very, very little wind. Just enough breeze to keep them a little bit cool. So now we'll see the quality of Steffi's serve.
Graf to serve.
Love one.
This service could well be the deciding factor, I think, in this match.
Love 15.
And Steffi a little lucky, I think, with that overhead. She didn't hit it in the middle of the racket, and it would seem now that she needs two of them.
Serving probably with the tighter racket, perhaps. 15 all. Just out.
30-15.
Going very much Sabatini for a very deep approach shot. Jane Tabor from Somerset, the umpire. This is her 5th Grand Slam final she's taking. In '88, she umpired the latest doubles final here.
40-15.
There was a case of sheer length with pace and power behind the shot, of course, but sheer length winning the point.
Game is Graf. One game all, first set.
The first ace of the match. That's a beautiful backhand.
It's Gabriela's trademark, the backhand down the line. And Steffi really was pushed there. She just doesn't move into position early enough when she gets to the net.
Drop shot just caught the top of the net, but what a lovely rally that was.
30 love.
Little unlucky, perhaps, Steffi there with the drop shot, although she played it, of course, right off the baseline. It's a long way back to play a drop shot. What a fine rally.
Hey! 40 love.
Well, in the sun, 95.8. That's in the sun temperature. But let's say again, what a glorious day for a game of tennis. Hold it up. It's a good one.
40-15.
Rather lovely forehand from Steffi. Perfectly timed, that one. 40-15. Ooh. Rather a bad toss-up there, that first service.
Well, the only two times that Steffi's seen a second serve, look what she does to it. Two devastating forehand winners.
Oh, I see. Well, she won the rally.
Sabatini leads 2-1, first set.
Extraordinary shot, Virginia, that one off the wood in the middle of the rally, an unintentional lob there.
Well, she put so much topspin on her shots that she's bound to hit some mishits. It's not wood off the frame, actually, but a good forehand she ended the rally with. Now, she was serving into the sun, and at the beginning of her match out here, around about 2 o'clock, you have the sun right in the right-hander's side, this end. Serve, she has got to be consistent with that first serve. You can see that she gets that tremendous extension on it. It's a nice action, and it looks smoother today. Sometimes her service action gets very jerky. But what I was worried about was that she would be so anxious to get first serves and that she'd really take off too much pace. She'd really sort of slow them down in order to get them in. And she's, if you can just see the incredible speed of Steffi's first serve, and that's an average. Sabatini's considerably lower, but we saw what happened when she did miss first serves and Steffi saw second serves. Now Steffi's got the sunny end. Will only be for the next 3 or 4 games that it lasts, the sun as bad as this.
And
Love
here's a
15.
tactic that we're going to see Steffi try, I'm sure, to get to the net. And she doesn't put it away, she pays the price. Gabriela's brought up on clay, she can make wonderful passes off those sorts of volleys.
Fifteen.
15 all.
Fifteen 30. All.
Oh, it's a net court volley. A net court volley.
40-30.
It's good serve.
Game is Graf. Two games all, first set.
An intentional serve, I think, from Graf, straight at the body, and her opponent a little slow getting out of the way of it. 2 all.
Love 15.
Very heavy topspin backhands there, but the third one rather smothered too much. Great volley. And this was a volley that was really rather good. It was a very low ball, a very heavy slice from Steffi Graf. She didn't get the length, but she kept the ball low. And to try and go for a pass down the line off that was very dangerous indeed.
And and she was very quick to see that it was a slightly slow ball and gave her the opportunity to run round and hit a winner, but she's totally out of position there if it hadn't been a winner.
2 break points.
Oh.
Oh, great ball.
Miss Graf leads 3 games to 2, first set.
And Steffi finding some extra pace from nowhere in that last game. Her forehand really picked up in speed, and in this last point she was extremely quick with her anticipation. Steffi's forcing Gabby back, and Gabby is taking her time, keeping the ball well clear of the net, but that one was short, and Steffi knew that that was going down the line. So Steffi is very, very sharp, and I'm sure she'll be delighted with that break. It's come at a perfect time for her.
And Gabby still always, when she plays Steffi, really letting Steffi do all the thinking and all the forcing, and this is usually where she's so good. She retrieves so well, but she's made some errors, especially on the low backhand slice. The court is bouncing very true today. It's fast, the topspins are standing up, the slices are coming down low. But a few more errors from Gabby than I think she can tolerate there. So the 1 break of serve. 3-2, first set.
15 left.
Heavily sliced ball there, just floating out. 15-all.
One of the few opportunities that Gabby has had to come into the net, getting a short enough ball, but that was actually quite a good shot from Steffi, and it set her up with the easier pass. Steffi's still waiting there while Gabriela is wandering around, slowing her down.
Oh! 30-all.
3-2, 30-all, first set.
First service.
Second ace.
40-30. Game's
On the line, I think.
Graf leads 4 games to 2, first set.
And Steffi Graf beginning to find the range now and the positioning for that big forehand of hers. 2-4, first set.
first service.
Well, that's a good shot.
15 love.
And here's a better backspin, backhand topspin coming from Gabriela. Keeps her shoulder well to the ball. It's helped a little bit by the net, but I don't think Steffi could have reached it anyway. 15 love.
Start.
30 love.
The easiest of shots, the forehand down the backhand line.
Sabatini. Ball change, please. Miss Graf leads 4-3, first set.
Just the game that Sabatini wanted, a love service game, a very, very good one.
Well, Dan, she's doing her best to contain Steffi, isn't she? She's absorbing the speed and she's not giving any speed back so that Steffi can build up the pace. She's absorbing everything that Steffi's throwing at her and then finally manoeuvring Steffi around and either passing her or getting into the net herself. She's played these championships all the way through in a very thoughtful, slow and deliberate manner. And this in turn, I think, does tend to annoy her opponents just a little bit. Jennifer Capriati in the semi-final likes to get on with it, and she doesn't really like to be kept waiting. And I feel a little bit too that Steffi doesn't like to be kept waiting, particularly when Steffi herself is serving.
And Pavel Slazul there, loyal. They both are, both Steffi and he, and behind Gabriela's father. The mother is back home in Buenos Aires. And both Steffi's parents are also there.
4-3. It's out.
15 love.
Once again, the very, very good length, really good length there, and a heavy slice ball, causing the mistiming. Very much a pressure shot. 30 love. Oh.
30-15.
This is one of the bad sort of points that Steffi once in a while plays. Now, she's gone the wrong way there, and then she just gets jammed at the net. She had a whole opening the other way.
Well, not the easiest of shots, the high backhand lob, backhand volley, but nicely directed over to the difficult side by Steffi Graf. 40-15. forehand.
Miss Graf leads 5-3, first set.
So now it would take some good serving for Sabatini to hold this game, I feel.
Love 15.
Really didn't make up her mind what sort of shot she was going to play there, a slice return or the topped, and paid the penalty, of course. And that was one of her best running approaches on the forehand, very deep. Too long.
40-15.
Just out on the sideline.
40-30.
Well, that's a beauty. Lovely control on the backhand.
She really is absolutely stuck on this next ball because this is a good shot here. The ball is deep and it's low, and Steffi couldn't take any swing on it. She could just grip hard and guide it down the line. Beautiful shot.
40-15 to deuce.
Advantage Miss Sabatini.
She put it out.
Game Miss Sabatini. Miss Graf leads 5-4, first set.
Well, having come back from 40-15 to deuce, Steffi Graf guilty there of a very wayward forehand on the last point.
With a great effort there by Gabby to hang on and win some pretty convincing shots there. This next game becomes the all-crucial game, though, because it seems that she's beginning to play a little bit better. She's living with the pace that Steffi is hitting at, and also Steffi, the little signs that impatience is coming in Steffi's game. Again, the tremendous extension on the serve, bouncing back ready, big wind-up, and a hard-hit ball. Eager to come in. As I said, she hasn't had that many chances to come in.
So after exactly half an hour's play, Steffi Graf serving for this first set.
Love.
So forehand winner on the 9th stroke of the rally. Beautifully anticipated.
And again here, Gabriela returning it well, taking the pace off it. Steffi electing to come in. She could have played a drop shot there, but she's reading that Sabatini backhand down the line so well.
It's a fine shot. A counter-attacking shot of high class there.
30-15.
So I was rather surprised to see her counter-attacking that because she was in a bit of trouble, but how well controlled. 30-15.
And there's Peter and Heidi watching anxiously. Steffi's second serve in that point was very anxious too. It was very short.
Really a big point coming up now. 5-4, 30 all. Out. Backhand approach too long. So it's set point. Yes, it's a winner. And that's the set.
6 games to 4. Second set, Miss Sabatini to serve.
So Steffi Graf winning that set with the stroke that has really tended to dominate the first set, the forehand drive.
Love 15.
Gabriela Sabatini will have to serve rather better than she did then. That was a miserably short second. Right on the line.
15 all.
No.
40-15.
Very fine driving rally, that very fine ground stroke rally until the last error. Oh, that's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant play by Steffi Graf.
Well, she certainly had some dynamite on that forehand. It just totally exploded off her racket, and he was probably still recovering from the shock there.
Oh, no.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
What was that meant to be? A drop shot or a backhand slice approach? Whatever it was very indefinite.
Yes, and it's a vital game for Gabby too. She's lost the first set. She really cannot afford to lose her opening service game in this set. So a few more positive thoughts from Gabby is needed here.
First game, second set. First set, Miss Graf.
Steffi really doing well to come back, as you said, and she was 40-15 down, but she's managing to keep herself under control. She's really not allowing herself, and really her nature, which is to absolutely explode on everything, to take over. She's playing a very disciplined match out here. And one of if we watch just some of these incredible forehands, just before this she had missed a couple by a long way, and that's why I think it's quite important to see that she actually has managed. That was the one that really was very hard, that she's managed to actually find a way of getting it back under control. She's also served so well. I think she only missed 5 first serves in the first set.
Yes, and in that last point, the backhand was beautiful, wasn't it, on that point we've just seen. She's so much quicker on her feet than she was last year. And Gabby has many, many problems on her hands. 1-love, second set.
Oh! 15-love.
Just out.
15 all.
Well played. Well played indeed. No hesitation. That ball might have gone out. But here we see a very definite decision made to a ball that was difficult to judge. Would it have gone out? When in doubt, play. And she did it.
First service.
Oh.
30-40.
First double. Now, a break point. It's out, just
Gabriela
out.
Sabatini. One game all, second set.
And what a great game for Sabatini to win there. She just dropped her own serve, but has broken back immediately, one of the golden rules.
Love.
And a very fine pickup of a very low ball, an adventurous approach. Paid off, yeah, paid off handsomely.
Paul.
Bit slow getting around the ball there, Steffi Graf, and of course it was a heavily sliced ball. It barely got up to knee height. And like so many players brought up on hard court, she prefers the waist-high bounce. 40 love.
Hey! 40-15.
Approach shot not good enough there. Neither deep to the baseline nor really on the sideline. Steffi Graf using the whole width of the court quite magnificently there. Really making her opponent retrieve. So from 40 love to deuce. Missed out.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
So a break point.
Game is Graf. Miss Graf leads 2 games to 1, second set, and by 1 set to love.
Well, Steffi Graf didn't do too well in the Australian Championship at the beginning of the year. In Paris, she suffered the most humiliating defeat by Sanchez Vicario, the Spanish girl, in the semi-final. Only won 2 games, beaten 6-love, 6-2. But since then has come back courageously, has worked hard at her game, and it's hard to believe that we're watching the same girl. She's now playing in the sort of form that I think won her 2 previous championships.
Well done. I think we've only seen really 1 lapse in this match so far, and that was at 30-all on her own service, where she served that double fault and played a loose forehand. And I suppose in a final she can be forgiven 1 lapse, but Gabriela Sabatini took full advantage of it and was very, very courageous to get to 40 love on her own serve, but again lost her way just a little bit at that particular point. She seems to me to be losing a little bit of confidence in this final. She's found a way to beat Steffi Graf in their last 5 meetings, and the plan of campaign isn't quite working, and she seems a little unsure as to what to do about it. So 3 breaks of serve in this second set. Now Steffi's turn.
Love. Dino. $15-30.
That was a volley that should give her a lot of heart. Beautifully played and placed.
Ball.
Yes, made it.
30-all.
Well, she did very well to get around this ball. She's choosing to play more on her forehand, but to slip that in down that tiny little opening was tremendous get. She needed that point too. 30-all.
Oh.
30-40.
So an unforced error there is a Sabatini break point.
Miss Sabatini. 2 games all, second set.
And here's Steffi going for a very, very deep serve. Gabby a little short with the return, and Steffi approaching the net. But that time, Steffi went the wrong way, as is clearly shown in that replay.
So 2-all. 4 breaks of service in the second set. An astonishing rally, and my goodness, the crowd rising to that. That was a truly brilliant rally. Sad it had to end with an error.
Tremendous rally from both girls. They were both hitting almost harder than they have been hitting through the match. And there is the topspin backhand that really has been her classic shot. She keeps her shoulder down, she stays on balance and rips it through. The balance changing.
2-all, 30 love. That's her first double fault. Gabriela Sabatini was very lucky to get away with that, I can assure you. She came in so badly off the most difficult ball. But it's 40-15. Great.
And this is an unbelievable point. Gabby running all over the court. And here she has the opportunity to pass. But that time Steffi went in the right direction. Steffi too, beautifully poised and balanced as she stretches wide for that forehand volley. 40-30.
Well,
Miss Sabatini leads 3-2, second set. First set, Miss Graf.
and we're certainly seeing some remarkable play now. Here's a rally that is quite terrific, and this match so eagerly awaited really fulfilling itself. We're seeing some world-class tennis, and there is world-class anticipation. Tremendous.
And perhaps just a little bit of a change in the balance here, because definitely the tactics have also changed. Gabby has managed to come into the net. She's managed to make some passing shots, and Steffi perhaps is letting a few errors come into her game and perhaps a little panic.
I'm not so sure that I would think she's panicking at this moment quite yet, but certainly the errors are creeping in, and that's due, I think, partially to the fact that Gabriela Sabatini has managed to stay with her in this set. She's absorbed the pace, she's thinking well, and she, at the moment, is slightly outmaneuvering her opponent, but the balance is so fine. It only takes an odd double fault here or an odd mistake there to swing the match. No one's won their serve yet in this set.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Sabatini just won her service. That's very awkward for her.
Love 15. Love 30.
Wonderfully confident return of service.
Steffi just changing her racket again. Maybe a little confidence lacking right now.
Love 40.
Well, really, if you're going to run around your backhand like that, you've got to do it rather quicker than that. That ball was at least 1.5 foot out over the sideline. So in dire trouble now, love 40.
Sabatini leads 4 games to 2, second set.
So three games in a row for Sabatini. And she's really on a run now. (4-2), second set, having lost the first, 4-6.
15 love.
She doesn't seem to like that one either.
Hands down from the line judge, so it was in.
15 all.
Well, a few people in the crowd didn't seem to think it was a good decision. But the line judge put his hands in the correct position immediately. 15 all. There's the line judge. amazing forehand driving.
30 all.
But she has to keep going for her shots, or else she starts getting a little tentative and being pushed into the backhand corner, but she's living dangerously.
4-2, 30 all. Rather an edgy sort of backhand that. The ball was a bit close to her body, but there was no decision about the shot at all.
Miss Sabatini leads 5 games to 2, second set. First set, Miss Graf.
And once again, she shows that in a matter of judgment over the sideline with a high floating ball, she made up her mind immediately and played that forehand volley for a winner. And she could easily have hesitated and found that it would have fallen in.
And now it's Sabatini who's dictating the point somewhat. She's suddenly been able to chip and charge, and that's the way she came out and beat Steffi in the final of the US Open last year, which was her first Grand Slam title. And ever since then, she's done nothing but beat Steffi. And to begin with, Steffi wasn't giving her an opportunity to play her own game. But I have seen this happen so many times to Steffi. Steffi will come out, she will not make an error. She hardly missed a first serve. Now her first service has gone off, and she's missing balls. And it's not as if her concentration is gone. It's just something that happens to her confidence. So 2-5, second set.
Love.
So,
all.
it's a long, hard way back for Steffi Graf to pull this set off.
(30-15). (30-30).
The third double fault.
First service.
She's missed one or two forehands down the backhand line there. It's a shot that can very easily go wrong. Deuce.
Advantage with Sabatini.
And that fourth double fault means that her opponent now has set point to make it one set all.
Juice.
Surely not a lack of concentration on set point.
Advantage Miss Sabatini.
Set point then for the second time.
Juice. Advantage Miss Graf. Game Miss Graf. Sabatini leads 5 games to 3, second set.
It's the longest game of the match, 3 deuces. And Steffi saving 2 set points.
Love 15. Fifteen.
Gabriela just slipping out here wide. Totally lost her footing and of course couldn't recover in time. But it wasn't a slip that would have hurt her.
I say Steffi Graf does take some risks running around the backhand like that. She gets right out of position. Five, 3, 30 all. Yes. And that perfectly placed smash gives her the third set point.
1 set all.
So I think now we can look forward to a wonderful final set. A really good good recovery there. Well, fair ladies, that was something, wasn't it?
Yes, well, Dan, it really looked as though Steffi had the match in the bag, didn't it? She had the first set in her pocket, 6-4, broke the first game of the second set, and then at 30-all contrived to play a double fault and a loose forehand, which presented her advantage back to her opponent. And since then, Gabriela Sabatini has really played extremely good tennis. She's gone to the net a lot more, Virginia, I think, and taken away the initiative from her opponent. And Steffi now, I don't think, has a weakness really to aim for. Gabby can play all the shots extremely well, whereas Steffi is constantly protecting her sliced back.
Seats quickly, ladies
And
and gentlemen.
hesitating
Thank
a
you.
little bit when she does go for big forehands, and then she catches them late.
Final
So
set.
Steffi really having given
Graf to serve.
Gabby the encouragement. Somehow she has got to find her rhythm back, because she is not playing very well right now.
Love 15. All. 30-15.
That is a wonderful volley.
Finally, Steffi playing with some sort of calmness and intelligence there, knowing that she's got to get into the net before Gabby does, and she played a nice controlled backhand volley. A couple of better points, bringing it to 40-15.
What is 30?
Game is Graf. First game, final set.
It's happened so many times in matches since Steffi has come away from the precipice she was at a couple of years ago, when she will play a perfect set, look totally unbeatable, and suddenly for no apparent reason, get edgy, get brittle.
Yes, and she was lucky, I thought, in that last game at love 15. The ball that Gabriela Sabatini played was very, very close to the baseline. It was called out, and in that last point, the lob only just missed, and Steffi really breathed a huge sigh of relief. So the tension is very much on. Both girls, I'm sure, feeling it, but Steffi, I think, feeling the strain a little bit more at the moment.
But it seems to me that she knows that Sabatini is not her favorite opponent, that she has always, ever since they first were hitting the semi-finals of tournament, she has always struggled against her. And she played a set, the first set today, where she played disciplined tennis, where she was probably playing against her better nature. And now when she gets ahead, she lets her nature take over.
In the dark glasses in the background there, a very distinguished visitor, Juan Antonio Samaranch, president of the International Olympics Committee, where we will be playing tennis next year in Barcelona.
15 love.
Out!
30 love.
Second time that has happened.
30-15.
Just watch this big forehand here. She loses her balance and down she goes for the second time. Rather an exaggerated finish to the shot there. That big body turn, just lost the balance. It wasn't a question of thrusting off. 30-15. Just inside the line. Yes.
Choose.
Quarter 15 to deuce.
Advantage, Miss Graf.
And once again, Steffi Graf exploiting the whole width of the court there. And it's a break point.
Game, Miss Graf.
Well, I can only think that was complete hesitation.
Miss Graf leads 2 games to love, final set.
Well, that really was an extraordinary stroke from Gabriela. Just look at this.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Somehow she suddenly seemed to quit on the stroke. 2 love, final set. She's put it out.
Love 15. Love 30.
Up.
15-30. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. And everything right about that point. Interception here, the anticipation and the perfection of the actual stroke. Two break points. Out.
Game Sabatini. Miss Graf leads 2-1, final set.
And again, Steffi gives the initiative back. She breaks, she's 2-love up, looking very comfortable. As comfortable as you can look in a Wimbledon final. And she had that easy forehand on the first point of that game. She could literally have put it anywhere, and she contrived to put it over the baseline.
You might remember that earlier on in the match, her first serve was way up in the 80s, and she was winning something like 50-something% of the points when she only got a second serve, and that has just gone rock bottom. And that's really because Sabatini has been quick to come in as soon as she sees a second serve, and that is what is killing Graf, because the moment she sees Sabatini coming in, she tends to rush. She doesn't take her time and just control the shot and watch the ball. She really does sort of panic on that passing shot. This has become so tense, this match. Nobody seems to be able to really string a whole bunch of points together at the moment. 1-2, third set.
Love 15.
That really, lot of tension up there in the box with the supporters of both sides.
Up. 15.
Rather a loose return there.
Out.
15-30.
Just hot.
30 all.
And really persistent net play there, not being able to get the ball away, Gabriela. But a little unlucky, I thought, Graf, with the passing shot down the line, just catching the top of the net. But a great rally. Third all.
Graf taking the ball rather late and getting into the net a bit too late, leaving an obvious place there for a lob. She did well to even get a racket on that lob, but couldn't possibly cover the next shot. So well played point by Sabatini.
Oh, no. Miss it.
Game is
Complete
Sabatini.
miss it.
Two games all, final set.
Well, the temperature rising everywhere, not merely on the court, but the players too. 98 in the sun, 2-all in the final set, and they've been on
Thank you,
court
ladies and gentlemen.
almost an hour and a half, just a minute short of an hour and a half.
Love 15.
This match is very definitely turning into a question of who has the stronger nerve.
Love 30.
Well, she didn't retreat and the ball was on the line, so it had to be a half volley. Not so easy on the off a ball right bang on the line. 15-30.
Well, and for once, Gabby actually misses a backhand volley. She's been anticipating so well at the net, and she has been almost error-free there.
Beautifully poised this match, 2-all, 30-all, final set.
A
vital set, a vital break point here for Sabatini. gamble Sabatini took there.
Chiefs.
Rushing that serve with a blocked reply on the forehand, but never quite getting to the net in time. And a very fierce reply from Graf. So the breakpoint save, deuce.
Advantage, Miss Graf. Game is Graf. Miss Graf leads 3-2, final set.
And Steffi here, getting herself out of a lot of trouble. Still reaching for the serve. Her serve is under a lot of pressure in this game, but she still has maintained that perfect balance. Here you see her decide. First of all, she's going to play a backhand, and then she decides to move round and play a forehand. And again, that lack of decision. And the ball just missing the line. But Steffi's serve is under so much pressure now. The first serve is coming back. And consequently, she's going for a little bit too much. And she knows only too well that with the short second serve, that even if it's not short on many occasions, Gabriela Sabatini is net rushing. And Steffi too, especially with her slice backhand, one would think she would have more control over it to be able to produce the odd lob, but she's not lobbing at all well. She's being forced to pass with her backhand, and the topspin and the slice not really quite equal to it.
Nearly 13,000 people here, absolutely absorbed in this this match. Compulsive viewing, yes.
Actually, a brilliantly played point by Sabatini, and she was a little unlucky not to win the point. Steffi just managing to squeeze out another good shot, and a better rally by both players, actually.
Two unforced errors by Steffi again. Both of them, strangely enough, on the forehand.
That
2-3, 30-all, final set.
40-30.
What a fine get by the server there, Sabatini, as she got back that raking forehand. Out, just too
Game,
long.
Sabatini. Ball change, please. Three games all, final set.
So, a few errors there on both sides of the net, but 3-all. Final set. Steffi Graf to serve. And certainly authoritative play there by Graf.
Finally, a forehand that is a trademark of Steffi, clean into the corner, drives through it.
30 love. Oh, yes. 40 love.
40 love. Game is gone. Ms. Graf leads 4-3, final set.
A sign of Steffi reasserting herself there, but just as you think she has, it seems as if there are all these ghosts that keep coming back to haunt her from the previous matches and the horror stories she's had against Sabatini.
Well, she certainly picked up pace in that last game. She seemed to grasp hold of the new balls, which move more quickly through the air, and really thump her serve in and try to dominate with her forehand again. But
one of the problems, Anne, is that Sabatini retrieves so well. When she hits one of these blinding shots, Gabby just puts her racket there and caresses the ball back early and low, and that's when Steffi seems to panic a little bit. I keep using this word panic, and it seems strange to use it with Steffi, but I think it's true.
Time.
Well, she doesn't like the low bounce, does she? And as you rightly say, Gabby chips it back and takes all the pace off it. And if anything, Steffi winds up to play a big forehand and then just loses control of it. But she's in the lead, and that's the place to be in this final set. All the pressure now on Gabriela as she goes to serve at 3-4.
What a lovely cheek point for Graf there. It's in. Line judge had his hands right down. Quite a pass we're going to see here. The drop shot is hardly low enough, and there comes a magnificent cross-court pass on the run, just catching the line. And it's 30-15. I beg your pardon, it's 15.
And this is a tension-releasing volley, if ever there was one. She really sees that forehand coming, it's high, and Gabby steps right into it and punches it away for a winner. 30-all.
Oh, what a deep volley.
Forty-30. Game is Sabatini. Four games all, final set.
What could be closer than that after an hour and 3/4 of play? So Graf to serve with this brilliant sun right in
Thank
her
you, ladies
eyes.
and gentlemen.
Gabby just looking like a total natural at the net, anticipating absolutely perfectly and in a hurry to make a clean winner out of it. Superb.
Well, the rhythm of the advance to the net was not checked by the net cord. Steffi Graf really handled that really very well. That's double fault number 5. It is. Break point. And is this championship point with Sabatini's service to follow? Oh.
Game is Sabatini. Miss Sabatini leads 5 games to 4, final set.
And that could be disastrous.
Absolutely. You knew that when she had the lead just before at 4-3, and Gabby played such a confident game, such a fluent game, that this game was going to be absolutely scary for Steffi. And you can see Steffi's body just almost turns to stone. When she's running, she's not as flexible, she's not easy. And you can imagine that they've seen this before happen, and they, just by that very look there, they know what she's feeling. I don't know how Steffi can possibly actually think positively enough now to get out of this match. Great playing from Sabatini.
Now
Please, ladies and gentlemen.
the
Thank
question
you.
marks are all on Gabriela. Can she take it? Here she is serving for the championships.
15 love.
Yes.
$15.30.
$15.30. And a very fine forehand running pass. Under pressure here, Steffi has to come right across the court and place it on the run. 2 break points. Oh.
Quiet, please, ladies and gentlemen.
It's out.
Game is Graf. Five games all, final set.
Well, having broken serve to take the 5-4 lead, a rather poor game by Gabriela. 5-all, final set.
And this one is brilliant. She comes in, you see she gets to the net at the same time as the ball lands, so she's in plenty of time to plant herself and can do virtually anything with it.
Well out.
15 all.
Oh. Steffi Graf there playing a very indecisive lob. She didn't shape up as though she was going to play a lob. It suddenly seemed that she decided to. Paid a heavy penalty, 15-30.
All.
5 all, 30 all. And both girls have raised their game now in this crisis of the match. So just missing the line with the forehand. It's break point.
Miss Sabatini. Miss Sabatini leads 6-5, final set.
Well, what a volley to miss at such a vital point. Rushed it rather, I suppose, took her eye off the ball.
And you can see that she knows she has to come into the net because otherwise Gabby is coming in. And this is always a difficult volley to play because it's right in front of you. And she probably was happy to have a volley on a forehand. And that's when you let up a little bit.
But it's strange, Regina, isn't it, to see two players brought up on clay running to the net, because if they don't, then their opponent does so and wins the point.
Gabby's coming in when she's got balls which are really not short either. She's coming in from very deep balls and winning nearly every point when she gets to the net.
Let, first service.
Let called, first service.
And what a brave forehand this is. Break down, fighting for her life, and she produces that.
Oh, that's a great shot. And this really is a great shot that's played now. It's a very good lob. It's over the right side of the body from Graf's point of view, but Sabatini puts it away first time. 15 all.
$15-30. $30 all.
Six, 5, 30 all. What a run. Absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely sensational. How she came from there. She sees that there's an open court and just gets a little extra ounce of energy out of her legs. Unbelievable. Gabby must have thought that she had that point.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
30-40.
Break point. And she's done it. Well, this is really...
6 games all, final set.
This is really quite incredible, Thomas, really. Sensational is the only word. Exactly 2 hours, and there's the score. 1 set all, 6 all.
Thank you.
No tie break, of course, in the final set.
$15 $30 30-15.
Very fierce return of service, catching Steffi a little bit slow. 30-15.
$30 all.
It's out.
40-30.
That's a beauty. That is a classic.
Game is Graf. Miss Graf leads 7-6, final set.
And a smile like that was a real luxury for her, and quite the best shot that she has hit, probably as a passing shot the whole match. It was so deep, so low, she just screams it past.
I think actually, Virginia, it was so difficult she didn't have time to think about it at all. It was pure instinct, this forehand. Keeps her head down, balance forward, perfect.
The first one she set over, I think that was meant to. But, you know, on her face you see that she is not quitting this match, and when she played her in the final of the US Open, you could see that she didn't really believe it. I think she's felt that she's hitting the ball so well that she should win this match.
One feels now that Sabatini will have to serve really well to stay in this match.
Love 15.
That's a beauty.
Love 30.
Love 30. No, no, no. Steffi Graf rather overrunning that ball. $15-30. So 2 championship points. Two championship points for Steffi Graf.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
That's it. That's it.
Miss Graf. Miss Graf wins 2-1. 6-4, 3-6, 8-6.
And so, a most remarkable match, truly remarkable match. 2 hours and 7 minutes of high drama all the way. 6-4, 3-6, 8-6 to Steffi Graf, and she becomes the title holder for the 3rd time. What a performance! Twice she had to serve to stay in the match, and having just been congratulated there by Alan Mills, the referee. And so the traditional scene as the ball boys, ball girls line up. So, a memorable day this, a royal occasion and a royal performance. And everybody around this centre court, I'm sure, glad just to have this breather. Well, I wonder how the young prince has enjoyed his first final. Seems to have enjoyed it. I believe he already has started playing a little tennis. So Princess Diana certainly has started and plays quite a bit and enjoys the game. And they just come down the stairs from the Royal Box underneath Kipling's If You Can Meet the Triumph and Disaster, past where the trophies are usually housed. Already behind that screen at the back there, ready for the presentation. And what a day to remember.
Steffi just relishing this moment. I think Gabby just left the court probably to change her shirt, but the scream of delight when she won that final point. I mean, what a weight off her shoulders.
And I think to Virginia that she's enjoyed this win so much more because it's been so difficult for her to attain. Before, when she was winning Grand Slam after Grand Slam, it didn't mean so much. But now, today, it meant an enormous amount to her.
There was so much tension when Gabby hit that ball that looked as if it could dribble over to make it 30-all, and it gave her match point. And then that you knew she'd finish it with a screaming winner. It had to be, actually. This was, we all knew it was going to be a fabulous match, but it turned out into even a greater match. Good girl, poor Gabby. You know, she did everything she could to win, and Steffi was just that little bit better, so I'm sure she'll win herself sometime.
And so their Royal Highnesses, the Duke and Duchess of Kent, come forward to do the presentation. The Duke, the president of the club, and these young people, boys and girls, been provided by the Merton Education Committee from 9 different schools. And the others have come from the Beacon School and the John Archer School, which is just down the road at Wandsworth. So this is a day they'll remember, and they really have done a magnificent job, like everybody connected with this championship this year, in these difficult conditions that we had, particularly in the early part of the championship. And here's a man who'll be glad to have a night's rest when this is over. Alan Mills, former Davis Cup player for Great Britain, who really has had a task. He's had a few before, but none to under such pressure as this one. And the Duke of Kent, not just the president of the club in name, very, very much concerned with the welfare of the club. And the gods in their heavens today, blessed with a son like this. And Chris Gorings just being congratulated, I'm sure, by the Duke. Chris Gorings, the chief executive of the club. So Gabriela comes forward to a very, very sympathetic hand and so on. And as the runner-up, she receives a personal prize and a silver medal. And Steffi Graf, for the third time, comes forward to take this wonderful trophy. And what a recovery when you think that she was humiliated in Paris just a few weeks ago in the semi-final of the French Championship, losing 11-2 to Arantxa Sanchez-Picado. A truly dramatic recovery from that, to win this championship for the third time. And so for the third time, her name will go on that famous challenge trophy. And also she'll receive a silver replica. And I imagine Chris Gorringe, whether there, may ask her to do the champion's walk. And that is the umpire, Jane Tabor, who took her first ladies final here today, having done the ladies doubles a few years ago. And the last time she umpired a match for the two players today was in the final of the Olympic tennis in Seoul in 1988. So a great day for Jane too. "22 years of age, and she's completed her part of the German affair here. And as I thought, Chris Gorringe will ask her to give the photographers a close-up here. I just wonder what is going through his mind. She came so close. But there we are. Well, now, sitting by me, of course, Virginia and Anne, who've been through all this.
Yes, it's a very exciting moment, Dan. But really, going back to the match, it was so superb. Great tennis. We all expected it to be close, but I'm not sure we expected the quality of tennis that we got. Certainly at the end, Steffi played magnificently, enjoying her moment of triumph.
They both really went into overdrive at the end, and it's nice to see Steffi looking so happy. What two super girls these are. They really are. They're both very private people and very different, but both are faultless, really, in character. They are really tremendous and great. It's great to see the way that Gabby also was smiling. She has come such a long way in the last year. She's had just a brilliant year. She's won 5 tournaments, and she just couldn't quite get through to win either the French or this one. But the two of them together provided just a wonderful mix. And Gabby was virtually winning this match. I mean, it was up to the 1 point.
But it's such a long wait, though, isn't it, Virginia, when the winner, the victor, is taking all the adulation. It's a long time for Gabby to stand and wait.
When it was raining all that week, it was so dismal. I thought, I wonder how we'll look back at this year when it's over. And it has come to such a perfect conclusion.
And so they have one more day of hard work to do, the ball boys and ball girls, but they've done their stuff really magnificently here. I'm just wondering where we'll place this against the 1970 final, that famous final between Billie Jean King and Margaret Court, one of the greatest women's finals, and I think the longest.
Yes, Dan, but throughout that match, although it was so close,
yes.
Maybe it was just me, but I had a personal feeling that I knew who was going to win it. But in this match today, I had absolutely no idea who was going to win it at the end. Gabby served for it twice, and in the end, Steffi raised her game to take the championships.
So everybody there, including Princess Diana and her son, everyone will remember this match